Hello, everyone. Let me say it's very nice to be here and met all of you guys. My name is Vasvi Ciftcioglu. I'm from Cyprus. We are all from Cyprus. I'm a Turkish Cypriot filmmaker, journalist. We'll speak about today Nicosia. Nicosia is the only divided. I think it's the only divided capital in the whole world. And it is the only divided city in the Europe. Divided, when I say divided, I mean a hard border with UN buffer zone, protected by military police. So if you want to cross from one side to the other, you have to show your identity card. First for the Turkish Cypriot checkpoint, then to the Greek Cypriot checkpoint, and you have, I didn't bring the identity cards with me today, but you have to show your Turkish Cypriot identity card to the Turkish Cypriot police. Then you have to show your Greek Cypriot identity card to the Greek Cypriot police. So we hold two identity cards, two passports. Yeah, I am, my profession, as I said, I'm a filmmaker, and I am specialized on conflict reporting and peace building through media, so I'm an expert on peace journalism. More than 20 years I'm preparing documentaries, interviews, and media production for reunification in Cyprus. And Nicosia, I made several documentaries about Nicosia. I always, the program that I'm working, the television program I'm working for is bilingual, so when it is Turkish, it has Greek subtitles. When it is Greek, it has Turkish subtitles. So when I have guests from both communities, I met with them in the buffer zone, because Nicosia is divided with a buffer zone, UN buffer zone, okay. Because the conflict is still on the table. The history is told by two communities is different. Both sides have their own historical approach. Both sides have their own social reality. So I'm not going to get into that much. But I can say that those who are not living in Nicosia were not all inhabitants of Nicosia, they might think or say you that Nicosia is divided in 1974 when the country is divided, but actually it's not like that. Okay, let me play this. I think, okay. So these, as I said, most of the Cypriots, both Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, they might think that Cyprus, Nicosia were divided into two zones when the country was divided in 74 with the war. But actually this is from 1956, when interethnic clashes start between two communities. Cyprus was a British colony back then, and they decided to put barbed wire between neighborhoods, so Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots are not attacking each other. So this is from 1956. Long before the island divided, the city was divided itself. Then in 1963, there was an official division of the city, and guess who did that with a green pen? Of course, yeah. And I heard that I made an interview with, because in Cyprus we have two big communities: Turkish Cypriots living on the northern part, Greek Cypriots living on the southern part, and we have Cypriot Armenians as a minority group. And there was this guy, Vartan Malyan, that I made an interview, and he told me how the commander drew this green line, because he said that he asked me to give him a pen to draw the line, like he did everywhere else in Africa and everywhere. So there was three pens, he said. One is blue, and I feel anxious to give him blue, because if I give him blue, they might think that Greeks involved to draw the line. There was a red pen, and I think if I give him the red pen, then they will think they are drawing the line in favor of Turks, because red, somehow symbolizes Turkish. So I gave him the green pen. So that was how. Then that was 1963. No, 1964. The British draw the green line. They divide the whole Nicosia into two pieces. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So this is the actual division now. What you see in the middle is the buffer zone that is controlled by UN. And in Nicosia, we have 3 checkpoints. One is in the Lidra Street. You can cross by walk. One is Lidra Palace. That is also by walk. And we have Kermia checkpoint that you can drive with your car. So, yeah, this is the old city. Yeah, when old inhabitants speaks about Nicosia, they all refer to this walled city. But actual Nicosia is much bigger than this. This is a very small walled city. So, yeah, these are some photographs belong to a friend of us, Tijen Erol, that show the buffer zone in Nicosia. Yeah, you can see that you can understand from the flags that this is taken from the Greek Cypriot side. These 2 flags belong to Greek Cypriots, and the other 2 for the Turkish Cypriots. You can see that there are cafes next to the buffer zone. Buffer zone is a dead place. Yeah. Okay. And this is okay. Yeah. It passed to the other one. Sorry. Yeah, I want to speak a little about my experience as a journalist crossing over, because I'm living on the northern part of Nicosia more than 20 years now, and twice, sometimes, every day I have to cross the border to go to work, the television station. I'm working for the national broadcaster, Cyprus Broadcasting Corporation, so I have to cross every day, and the distance from my home to the station is 11 kilometers. If there was no border, maybe it's like 5 minutes, 6 minutes drive, 10 minutes, let's say, maximum. But I have to drive 55 minutes, 1 hour every day. If there is no queue in the checkpoints, because Turkish lira lose a lot of, Doğuş will speak about that. Yeah. No, because the Turkish lira lose a lot of value, a lot more Greek Cypriots crossing daily to buy cigarettes, alcohol, toilet papers, I don't know. Everything is cheaper on the northern part. So there is a very big queue. You have to stay and wait. And the border, the interaction with, because as I said, it's a hard border. You have to deal with police and custom officers. You might experience interesting things like when there was bird flu. I remember that Greek Cypriot police officers and custom officers, they were checking me daily, my lunch box, if I have chicken with me, because they were curious. Yeah, while birds were flying over the border. Yeah, birds were flying over the border, but they were checking us if we have chicken in our lunch box. That was very funny. You have, in time you have very good relationships. Some address you with your name like a family member. Oh, Vasvi, welcome, good morning, have a nice day. Some are more, I don't know, they don't like their job maybe. Yeah, okay. Okay, so this is when when the pandemic started, like everywhere else, they decided to close the border, but it caused a big problem, because people like me, but I don't consider myself as a worker, because I can work from home, I can edit and film and send the edited material through internet, but there are workers like construction workers, they need to cross over and they need money for their families. So they closed the border, they said you cannot cross. For a while they couldn't cross. then they said, then the pressure started to increase because these guys, they need, money. So then they decided, okay, you can cross, but with the rule, never come back. So you can cross, yeah, until the COVID, yeah. But yeah, okay. They said you can cross, but we don't let you return back daily like you used to do it. You go and you will return when we announce you can return back. So this is from the car. Oh, sorry. Okay. Play. Oh, it plays. The other one I played. This one. Yeah. It plays. Okay. So this is the crossing point, checkpoint with car. So you will see that these workers are going with their cars because they are not going to return back. It was a dramatic scene. They have to, you see the border is closed. They just open for him. This is the first one crossing over. Yeah, by the way, I forgot to tell that from 1974 till 2003, for 29 years, there was no crossing. Yeah. They were driving because they are not going to return back for a while. They bring their stuff with their cars. So, okay. Yeah, that's one. And let me finish. Okay. Yeah. And that's because the border was closed. It separated groups, it separated families, it separated friends, because we have communities cooperating on both sides. So because the border was closed, people organized gatherings on two sides of the fence, on two sides of the border, to sing together. Greek Cypriots are on the south part. They are below are Greek Cypriots. The ones on the top are Turkish Cypriots. They are singing together, just keeping the hope alive that the border is going to be open.
You saw your girlfriend, no?
Well, it's not about my girlfriend. Like all of them are my friends, so it's all about the community.
Yeah, I think. No, I mentioned everything. I think. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I will continue a bit. So I was born and raised in this divided city, and when I was growing up, it was divided. I mean, it is divided now, but there was no way to cross. The borders were closed up until 2003, as he said. Yeah, the borders were really close. I mean, there were like tough borders that you cannot cross. And so this, so near to my house. Oh, so there is no sound. No, but yeah, this is a church bell sound. So I every Sunday I hear this church bell sound, and I am so curious that how does it look like? What do people do there? And there was no internet. I'm old for that, so I wouldn't know that. I mean, I wouldn't know, who are these people? What does this church look like? And blah, blah. So I was so curious. There is this mountain, there are two mountains in Cyprus. One is in the north side and one is in the south. And the south one is much higher, and there snow in the winter time to time. And you can see the snow, but there is no way that you can go. So it was really an interesting experience to, grow up in that kind of city. But after they opened the checkpoints, which is also not the ideal case, of course. I mean, we wish there were no borders, but we had the chance to cross the borders. We even like lived at the south for 4 years. I worked, so there is this like really nice initiative called Home for Cooperation in the Buffer Zone. I worked there, so I mean things are developing a bit, but still they're like really way to go. So yeah, the situation now is that I should mention that so there are people who can cross but doesn't want to cross because they don't want to show their ID because both sides politically doesn't recognize each other and like there are people that doesn't want to show their ID, but also there are people who can't cross because like some people are not legal for the government for the separate government in the south. Like they're people born and raised in Cyprus, but their families are coming from, let's say, Turkey, and they can't cross. But also there are people that didn't want to cross, but started crossing because of this Euro situation. So there are really long queues at the border. Also, I should mention that like there is a refugee situation. Yeah, like our latest film was about that. So there are so many people coming to the shores of like trying to because like there are refugees coming from Turkey and they arrived to north and they're trying to pass through the borders to the south because it is EU. So I mean this is a really big issue for us now too, and because actually that's fine. It's the sound. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just that yeah.
Hadi kapat kapıyı.
Yeah, it's in Turkish anyway. But yeah, like people are really getting
Var.
into those
Buzluklu
like,
kamyon bu. Nasıl dayanacaklar içeride?
Sana ne? İşine paranı al. Gerisine karışma.
they're getting into those like refrigerated trucks to be able to somehow find a way. So yeah.
Bot 1 saat 10 dakika sonra kalkar. Tam vaktinde kalkar. 11. dakikaya kalmaz. İşini bitiremezsen paranı alamam.
Bir saate gidilmez ki o yol.
Gidilir.
Yol uzun.
I can send you, yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is also a pressing issue for us now. Also, there are so many. Okay, so that's all for. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm done for my part. So yeah, I'll do continue.
Hello, everyone. I introduced myself before, but my name is Alden Jacobs. I'm also working, ever since I arrived in Cyprus. I've been working in the buffer zone with the peace building initiatives and beyond. So, as you can see from the presentations just now, it is indeed a very difficult situation, and it makes people's lives difficult and upsetting. But nonetheless, there is some positive momentum that is trying to take over this space and create something new, which is something that we're all a part of. And I wanted to kind of introduce some of the local initiatives that are seeking to bring people together. So there are many local actions taking place that focus on bringing together the communities in Cyprus. These initiatives are, though, primarily led by civil society, and in fact, lots of times hindered by, politics, local government, etc. Although sometimes a little bit of help here and there, I must say. And a big part of this is to create interpersonal connections across the island to build greater understanding. So now I have some examples. Everyone has been talking about the Home for Cooperation. This is the Home Cafe, and what's really special about this space is that everyone can join. So where Doğuş was saying that there are some people who either don't want to cross or who are unable to cross, this is a space where, let's say, just about everyone can go. But if you weren't allowed to cross either through the Turkish Cypriot Authority checkpoint or the Greek Cypriot Authority checkpoint, you would still be able to arrive here. So this space hosts local civil society organizations, but it's much more than that. It's a space that brings people together through events, music, etc. The cafe, a library, and a lot of people just come to hang out. So it's a very happy and special place for the island. Associated with this is the Association for Historical Dialogue and Research, AHDR, and this is a specific program that they have that focuses on bringing youth together, basically through the educational systems, educational ministries in the north and the south, bringing together classrooms of children and giving them a time to meet each other and make new friends, and also through that kind of introduce their teachers to new ways of discussing the challenges that are faced on the island, and trying to create a more inclusive and respectful dialogue around the communities. This is another one. Michael before was mentioning sport with the Olympics here. So this is Peace Players Cyprus, and they're working to bring people together through basketball, working with youth from all over the island. And again, it's a space where anyone is welcome, and it's not just about basketball, but also about creating these relationships and learning new skills to work together. Outside of Nicosia, but kind of a breakaway, let's say, from the Home for Cooperation, is the Famagusta Garage. So this is a space that intends to take a similar role, but the one challenge here is that this is not actually in the buffer zone. So again, we see really how powerful that space is, because this is very much a limiting factor to what they want to achieve. This is in the south, near the buffer zone, but not everyone can join. This is Cyprus Inno. It's a space that focuses on entrepreneurship and young entrepreneurs and their businesses, bringing people together and seeing how they can interact across the divide. And I realize I'm running low on time, but I thought, especially for our purposes today and what we're discussing, there are also a lot of local initiatives that focus on the arts. So there's definitely a growing movement to include the arts into intercommunal actions, and this includes all kind of artistic examples. And so this, actually my co-director of Visual Voices founded this festival. This is the Buffer Fringe, which is now, I think, going into its 8th year. And what's special about this is that it is a performing arts festival that's on both sides of the divide. So there may be, if there's 4 days of events, 2 of the 2 days of the events are in the north and 2 days are in the south, and also bringing together artists and linking them across the divide in a way that also builds new relationships and collaborations. And again, it's nice because it does draw people maybe out of their comfort zone because of these pre-existing interests that they have in performing arts. The Time is Ripe is a new collective that came out of COVID to create music that's in all of the languages of the island. And then Visual Voices, this is the organization that I represent, and we are really focused on supporting artists that have, I'm just going to raise this a little bit because I'm realizing I'm bending over. So we're focused on supporting artists that are either interested in starting or continuing with their socially engaged artistic practice, primarily focused around challenges that they see having resulted from conflict or division, etc. And our methodology focuses on artists in residence programs, but also platforms of expression where we share their work, share their ideas, and try to connect people across the world. And then also community programs, so really trying to get them, for example, an artist from the south working with civil society in the north to find a mutually beneficial way of working. This is one of the artworks from one of our residencies, which you can see the colors of the Cypriot flag, the white and yellow, and trying to find some space for that. This is an augmented reality phone application that we're trying to make to archive and share socially engaged artworks. And these are an example of the community projects. So this project, this artwork is near the center of Nicosia, and it was brought together by working with youth around peace building ideas, and then an artist to create that. And then this is a video, but Michael, I'm not sure if we have time to share, or yeah, I don't know if you're feeling anxious with time. If you're not feeling anxious with time, then maybe I'm gonna quickly share this video. And yeah, I'm just waiting to see, is it ready? Anyway, I will start it, and
peace for me, it's mean growing up, because I think when you are a child and you fight with others, and after you're growing up and you are learning that you should make peace.
Peace in general for me is to be able to breathe and be peaceful in your environment.
Peace for me would look like all people living together, free and lovingly and happy.
Like the actual peace between two sides. It's such a dreamy world for me. I hope it happens, but it feels like a dream.
Çok zor tanımı. Yani belki gerçek anlamda bir barış içerisinde yaşamadığımız için tanımı çok zor ama bütünlük.
I think this project is very important because it actually shows the face of the peace. People hopeful to be together and spend time together and relearn a new reality, something new, because what we have learned until now, it's the past, and we want like a new modern way of seeing each other, meeting each other.
So here we are together, we want to make a connection, to make things better all together. And today we are doing it by doing an action out of it. So I'm very happy to be part of it, and I'm very happy that so many people, they come all together.
So this project for me symbolizes that our country is one.
so that's us, and there's of course more to say, but we're happy to chat over the next couple of days and beyond.